I used to get off and take a bus.
How long did it take to get
Oh
there?
my God. And like I said, I used to get up at 3 in the morning.
And what time did you get there?
And I got there about 8, maybe.
5 hours?
Oh yeah, sure.
And then you're there.
Different things.
And then you were there from when till when?
Till all day, till 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
And then it took 5 hours to get
Then
home.
back to home, yeah.
And it's like 11 p.m. when you got home.
Yeah.
And then, so did you see mom and them at all when they were little?
Oh yeah, sure.
How? It was 11 p.m.
You know, I'll never forget there was a time that the weather sometimes was so bad, and I was so anxious to make a few dollars, and I didn't. So at one time, we got up in sheer ice on the road. I mean, you know, couldn't walk, but I didn't care. So I took the car and I had to drive into the village. That's where I picked up the bus. And there wasn't a car on the road, which I was lucky, and I was sliding all over the road. And finally, when I got to town, the buses weren't running because of that kind of weather.
Right.
So I had to go back home and taking chances like this again. Then one time was a snowstorm. And at that time I didn't take the buses, I drove in the snow to the city, to the Bronx. And when I got to the Bronx, the place was closed, I couldn't come in there.
Crazy.
But I did everything in order to make
a living. And so when your kids started having grandkids and you're still around, did that feel good?
Yeah, sure, of course. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so now that you're 87,
Yeah.
and you've lived this whole life,
Now I don't care anymore. I accomplished what I was out to accomplish, and then if I have time left, fine. If my time runs out, also fine. I don't care.
you don't want to be at my wedding?
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is,
You feel grateful?
listen, to be at your wedding doesn't, like I kept saying, it's not up to me.
Right.
Like I said, like I just said, if I have time, good. If my time runs out, I can't be helped.
So if you talked a lot about how you felt like someone was looking out for you, but you also took a lot of chances.
Oh yeah.
So do you think that people who didn't take those chances, they didn't survive?
They didn't survive.
So do you think...
I was with a lot of Germans,
Yeah.
Jews, they're Jews. I wouldn't say because they were in the camp. They were saying, why am I here?
Mm-hmm.
And they were right. Because they themselves, they weren't Jewish anymore.
They had
They traced back. Once maybe the grandfather, the grandfather was once a Jew.
What were they? Did they say... Well,
They were Christians.
they said they were Christians?
Yeah, they didn't know anything by Judaism. They didn't know anything that... They didn't even know themselves that the grandfather or whoever was Jewish. But the Nazi regime traced back. And that's the reason they put them in the camp. Now, what I'm trying to tell you with them people, because they came from a different climate, a different atmosphere, in Germany, the people lived a lot better than the people in Poland.
They lived well.
Yeah, I mean, so they were very soft. What I mean by soft, they couldn't handle this yet.
So you think if you were from Germany...
So they were dying out like flies.
Wow. They would die a lot sooner than the Polish.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
So,
They probably, not probably, they were a lot more educated than ones who the one who came before.
Right. So maybe they wouldn't be as risky as you were.
Hmm?
They wouldn't be as risky as you were.
No. So that's, like I said, when you're a Jew, I don't care what anyone tells you, I'm going to change, or they give you an ultimatum, either you're a Jew, or if you're not, you have to leave, or to be killed, or things like that. I don't believe in that. You die a Jew, you live a Jew, you are a Jew no matter what, because some people, for instance, like I just got finished telling you, I hope it doesn't come to this here anymore, but them people over there from Germany, they weren't Jewish anymore. They didn't know anything about Judaism. They didn't even know if their grandmother, whoever it was, once a Jew. They didn't know that. But they found out about it. And you can't get away from that. If you're a Jew, you die a Jew. That's all there's to it.
I was told once that even if you don't think you're Jewish, everybody else will remind you that you are.
Oh, you better believe it.
It's like you said.
That's why, you keep saying that some of them, the conversion. Nah, that's a lot of bullshit. Listen, I don't have to go too far. I know someone who married a Christian girl, and they were living together for a while, and I don't know what the reason was. They got divorced, something. The minute she got divorced, she went right back, she converted, and she went right back to Christianity. So you can't get away from that.
So, you took a lot of chances, you felt like someone was looking out for you. Besides this, why do you think you survived? Why did you...
I don't know.
Why did you try so hard to live? You said you kept saying the whole time you didn't care if you lived or died.
No, I didn't.
So, but why were you trying so hard to survive? Why were you taking all of these chances if you didn't care?
You know what? I had to take them chances.
Why?
No, to survive.
But you said you didn't care at that point anymore.
Yeah, because if they catch me, if they kill me, they kill me. That's all it's to it.
But you had a strong will.
Because if I wouldn't go take them chances, like in the place, I forgot to tell you, in that place in Budzin, that police camp I wasn't there, the Poles had to deliver potatoes and things like that, and they were sending this to Germany. And they had a basement, a huge basement with potatoes. They used to get people, even I used to work over there a few times. We used to take them potatoes and put them on the trucks and take them to the railroad, and they were sending to Germany. Now, we used to wear the stripes uniform, right? So I used to tie around over here with a piece of rope, my pants. And I used to put some potatoes in there, in here. And I used to smuggle that in there to the camp. And the camp, they used to have them boilers outside there, and I used to take a piece, stick it on a piece of wire, the potato, stick it in it. We used to have this here.
Cook it.
Yeah. So, and I got caught one time, and I got a beating you shouldn't know from it. And I was lucky that again I had to go back to this year. Someone didn't let me get killed. That's all I had that strong feeling. And I only got a beating. Or it could have been worse. Because if you get caught like this here, you get killed. They shot you. They kill you for that.
They beat you with their hands or with a belt? How did they hit you?
A whip.
A whip.
Oh, boy, a whip. A whip without clothes. They take the clothes off and whip you.
So remember I told you about that psychologist who was in the he was in the Holocaust, and he said that the people who survived, the reason why they survived was because they had the strongest will to survive. Do you think that's true?
Well, I don't know about that. The only thing I can think of, and maybe he's like half right.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying he's like half right, like all them educated people who came from different parts of the world, like Germany, even Poland, but although Poland, from Hungary, from all them, they were very learning people, educated people, and they were kind of soft on themselves, you know. They couldn't do hard labor because they weren't used to do this here. And another things, you know, like I said, when they gave them that portion bread, they used to save this year for the next day. I couldn't wait till I get the CA. From the minute I got the CA,
right.
So they couldn't survive.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be a lot tougher.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of. And those who came from Hungary, or the Hungarian Jews that came late, because that king, whoever was there, made a pact with the Nazis not to invade Hungary, but they did invade Hungary they almost at the end. Mm-hmm. And that's the time they started bringing in the Hungarian Jews.
Right.
But the same thing goes for the German Jews. But I'm thinking some of them, the Russian Jews were there, Polish Jews, you know, from the Ukraine, they were more tougher.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to show this to my children. I'm sure Jacob will show this to his children, and Ben will show this to his children. If you had to say something to our children and our grandchildren.
No, the only thing I would say.
This is about.
The only thing I would say is with this year, like I said, I didn't tell you everything because it's almost impossible. This guy can go on with this year, I don't know for how long, you know, with any little incident, every little detail. But I'm only hoping when I'm gone, this here should never die. If you have children or your grandchildren, to relate to them, never, to let them know that this should never happen again. You know, I didn't think when I started this year with you that I'm going to break down the way I did, because I have to go 70 years ago. But it never leaves your mind. It's always going to be with me. And I opened whoever, like you said, my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, should never and they should to keep that in mind. You see, I never told Sid about Joe. I have to go back, you know, the chances, you know, it keeps coming back to me. Memories keeps coming back. The chances I used to take. You never thought after them chances when I took that I would still be alive. It's a miracle, and I don't believe in miracles, but something is.
Thank you. We won't forget. I promise. Remember I told you last night that you were my hero? During Shabbat dinner?
Yeah.
I meant that. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And when you say, why are you here and nobody else is here? Look what you have. You made children, they have grandchildren.
Well,
I wouldn't be here, Jacob wouldn't be here.
I mentioned this before. I said that before. That the main thing what I want to accomplish is for me to get married and not have any children, to bring back some of the names, because if I wanted to bring back all the names, the relatives I had, I would need like 20 children. But I named the closest, you know, my father, my mother, my sister, my brother, and my grandfather. But I had so many uncles and aunts, because like I said, my grandfather had 7 children. All of them had children, small children. That uncle was what I told you, when I was with him in the concentration camp. And he was liberated. In fact, I told you he escaped and I got caught. But he went to Israel. He was living in Israel. But he cracked up. He lost his mind because of that. And he got married to someone over there, the way I understand, someone was telling me. But he couldn't live. Because he had 2 small children and his wife. There was no place to run. He wasn't I mean, he was hiding out, and they told him, you better leave because they're going to come to get you. So there was no place for him to go except give himself up. Oh my God. And I used to love them children. They were small children. A little girl and a little boy.
Well, now that you spoke about it, and it's on tape, it's never gonna go away.
Huh?
We'll have this tape forever. This tape.
Yeah.
We'll have it forever. It's not going anywhere. So
Okay.
everybody will see it, and nobody's gonna forget. Okay?
No, listen. Like I said, you know, and I had to go through everything which more or less I remember. Don't forget, it's been 70 years or whatever. But if I have to go, the things what I still remember, you know, not only in the major camps where I was, but even in between those little camps. And it would take me months. And then again, I don't think I want to, because it keeps bringing back those very bad memories.
Okay, so we'll stop now. Okay? Thank you. You want to give me a hug? You want to give me a hug?
Yeah.
I love you.
Okay. I love you too.